dragons, I'm back. It's been a bit since I filmed and I feel like I haven't really posted any bookish content because I've been in Italy for the past 10 days and their phone network was great but their internet was really not, so I didn't really post any like videos and stuff just because I was really worried about my cell phone battery. But I'm here to do a reading vlog as I readjust to the time change. Timing wasn't actually that bad. I just think I'm not sleeping my best because my sleeping hours are a bit out of whack, but I am doing the Amazzing Readathon, which I've mentioned in several videos. I'm also doing Aurelium, and I'm also participating in the Romance Readathon just because it's another team-based readathon and I like those. So we have to, the leg we're on now is in Rome, which is ironic. I just came from Rome yesterday, like in my real life, but so we have to read a book that has a romance in it. So I'm gonna pick up The Deja Vu Glitch by Holly James. This is the book that I need to read for like a bookseller recommendation. I have a friend that's a bookseller and she recommended this. It also is a romance, so that will work for 2 prompts, and it's also pretty quick. It's like only 300 pages. I literally flew 300 pages yesterday as I was traveling because I was on the flight for like 9 hours. But yeah, I'm gonna start this. This is also like, I think it has like, it has like a, it's like basically like she's stuck in like a time loop, which I think is a prompt on my Avengers board. So yeah, I'm gonna try to read as much as I can because I've been gone. I want to just kind of relax today, take it easy. I'm gonna take the puppy for a walk. I'm also listening to Shadow Sister by Lily Mead, which is a book for another Aurelium prompt. That probably won't count for the romance leg, but I do need to read that. And then I only have like 1 more book to go, which is what I wanted. I really wanted to front load the month so I was done. And yeah, that is the plan. So I'm gonna go kind of catch up on my YouTube queue. I want to get it below 50 videos, which I just kept adding them when I was gone. I didn't really like watch anything other than true crime just because I was really tired. But yeah, I'm gonna go read maybe about like 100 pages of this and then I'll give you guys an update. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey friends, I just want to give you an update. It is about 3:20 and I did wind up reading 100 pages into The Deja Vu Glitch. I also spent some time like reorganizing my reading journal. I had to find my reading journal because I lost it. So I did that. I kind of set everything up for this week. I kind of checked into all the challenges I'm doing and made sure I was doing them all right. Yeah, but I did want to reading 100 pages of this. I'm enjoying it. I don't normally prefer to like listen to my romances, but I have to read this for a challenge and I want to finish all of my required reads for Aurelium, so I don't really feel obligated to read them anymore the rest of the month, just because I have a feeling the rest of the Amazing reading is going to be a bit chaotic, but this will count for all the challenges I'm doing, which is good. But I basically am following this main character. Again, right off the bat, this book is a not dual point of view, which means I struggle with it a little bit just because I like when you get both characters' point of view. But you're following this character named Gemma, and it reminds me a lot of the setup in More Than Maybe by Erin Hahn, where like her dad is like a famous like rock star and they don't have the best relationship. So that was for the male character in that book, but basically she's kind of stuck in a time loop and she's not aware she's stuck in a time loop, and she's been stuck in this time loop for like 5 months until the man she's stuck in the time loop is kind of kisses her, and that kind of alerts her to the fact that things aren't kind of according to plan, and they kind of have to figure out why they're stopped in the time loop. And I read the first 100 pages. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's a very quick read. I just finished Scales and Sensibility. That was a quick read. Like, I did not want to put that book down. This I could put down if I wanted to, but again, it's a romance. Like, if you're not following the Amazing Readathon, this might sound a bit complicated, but every leg you have a prompt that you have to do, and then like you can read more prompts like once you get there. Like, you could sightsee and kind of give you can kind of give your team more points. And there's a lot of romance books that will count, so I'm just trying to read through this quickly so I can get to other ones until the leg changes. And we've been on this lake for like a day, and I finished Scales and Sensibility yesterday, or this morning actually. But I'm enjoying it. I haven't read anything by this author before. I like Groundhog Day stories. I read one by Rachel and Salomon recently, See You Yesterday, and I really enjoyed that. But that was, I don't remember if that was dual point of view, but that was very fun. It was YA. But I'm enjoying it. So it also has a lot of talk about like time travel and like time loops and stuff like that, and like that's always very interesting. There's also a dog in the story, and I'm just having a fun time. I have 70 videos in my YouTube queue, which is a lot, so I'm going to try to get that down a little bit, and I will give you an update when I read another like 100 pages, and I'll give you guys a time check. I hope that I can actually sleep tonight, because last night I did not sleep that well. I slept like on and off. I also slept on the plane coming here, and I think that was like a mistake. I think I should have stayed up and then fallen asleep, but I have a really good internal clock normally, but I think this just kind of affected that, to be very honest. So yeah, I'm gonna go read another 100 pages in this, and then I'll give you guys an update and a time check. But I'm enjoying it. I got this rec from a bookseller. That was the prompt, which it always feels nervous letting someone else choose my TBR, because I'm always in the mood for other things, to be very honest, but I'm enjoying it. So I'm gonna go read another 100 pages, and then I'll give you an update. I might take the puppy, if she wakes up, she's sleeping, but I might take her for a walk. I'm in the middle of an audiobook, and I have like 2 hours left of that audiobook, which is not that long. I'm liking that book. It's not my favorite. It's called Shadow Sister by Lily Mead. It's interesting. It's more of like a mystery thriller than I was expecting, but I am liking it. So yeah, I'll give you guys an update when I read about 100 more pages. Bye. Hey Book Dragons, I'm back. So it is around 8:30. Honestly, my internal clock is all screwed up, so I don't know how late I'm gonna stay up tonight. It might be later than normal just because I'm really not tired, and I haven't been tired. I think I'll probably sleep eventually, but my internal clock is off. So I've read to about 60% in Shadow Sister by Lily Mead, and I'll put it up here. But it's definitely like more like a mystery, but basically you follow this main character. You do get 2 point of views, and basically you follow this girl and her sister. You set the book up and her sister's missing. You don't know where her sister is, and her, they have a very like complicated relationship, I'll say that. Like they don't really get along, they fight a lot. But then her sister comes back and she has no memory, or her sister is very suspicious. She has no memory of what happened. But we got introduced to this plot of other girls going missing, and that's like the thing that I'm really intrigued by. It's definitely more of like on a more emotional read, like between the dynamic between the sisters. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to count it for the romance prompt, because it's really like, there is a romance with like the second sister like in the past, which I think is interesting. But I really don't know how it's all gonna shake itself out. So I read about 60% of that. I've started that before though. I read that like earlier in the month before I went to Italy, and then I just could not listen to it in Italy because it was just very, very loud. When I do my wrap up, I'll talk about what I listen to, because I really don't listen to any books, sadly. I wish I could, but I just didn't. But I also got up to page 200 in The Deja Vu by Holly James. I'm liking this book because it's a little bit of an interesting twist. So basically you follow these two characters, and Gemma realizes she's in a time glitch, but she realizes it because this man that's in the time glitch with her kind of chatted with her. And I think this book is very interesting because so far I'm like 200 pages in, and they're still in the the first day of the time glitch, which I think is like very interesting. So it's like a very interesting story, but then the other character he's not a main point of view character, but he can't remember, like he knows he's in a time glitch, like he's aware, and he kind of like shook Gemma out so Gemma would be aware of the time glitch, but he doesn't remember anything that happened before the day of like his 500 days in this time glitch. So that's very interesting. Right now, the last 100 pages I really focused on her dynamics with her family. She has a brother. We learned a bit more about their relationship, her mom, and then her rocker dad, who they do not have the best relationship, like at all. So that was very interesting. Like, it's very compelling. There was a lot of drama with the relationship between the two main characters, which I'm intrigued by. Her best friend's super fun. There's a dog in here, which I love. I have a dog too, so it's very, very cute. But yeah, so I also made some headway on my YouTube queue. I watched one of Gavin's longer videos just because they're long. Sorry if my hair looks weird. It's normally braided, but I got it braided in Italy, and I took it down because I look like a hot mess express, especially between flying and everything. So yeah, my goal is to read another 100 pages, and that will bring me to like basically the end of this book. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it tonight. That was the plan. The plan was to do 2 sightseeing books for this leg, because I feel like I really didn't read a ton in Italy. Like, I was always behind. The only reason I caught up was because I flew yesterday, and I read about 60% of Sense and Scales and Sensibility. So like that book was pretty much done this morning because of the trip. So yeah, I'm gonna go read another 100 pages. Right now it is about 8:30. If I'm really feeling it, I probably will read the 100 pages, and then I'll give you guys a check-in. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's very, very fun. It's very, very quick. And again, Do I think it's going to be the best book ever? No, but I'm happy that I picked it up. I'm happy that I got the rec. And I'm really good at staying with my TBR. I only had one substitution. So yeah, I'm gonna go read a bit more. I'm really not tired, which is probably because of the jet lag. I'm also thinking of doing a fall reset vlog on my channel because a lot of stuff fell down the wayside this year and I want to like get myself prepped, but I don't think I'm going to do this vlog. I also have a secret vlog I'm working on, so I'm going to do that this weekend, I think. Hopefully the prompts align. I also want to do a read to, I have a lot of stuff planned, but I have to like really plan it out and I'm just not there yet. But yeah, so I'm gonna go read another 100 pages and then I'll give you guys an update. It might be tomorrow morning, it might be tonight, we will see. The puppy's out with my mom right now, so I might not be able to update if she's sleeping because whenever she hears my voice, she comes and sees the camera. And then she bites my wrist and we were trying to avoid that. But yeah, I'm gonna go hopefully read a bit more, and then I'll give you guys an update. So yeah, talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hey friends, I'm back. It is Wednesday. I did wind up getting my hair done this morning. I am watching the puppy. She's currently sleeping. It is raining. I also have 10 minutes left of my book Shadow Sister by Lily Mead, which means I'm getting closer to my Aurelium TBR. I'm also about 260 pages into the Deja Vu Glitch by Holly James. I am liking this. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting because this book is like structured a bit differently because like it's literally one day, and I normally just don't like books that take place over one day. I have a couple of exceptions, but I don't like books that don't have a history in one day. Like, I remember I read The Statistical Probability of Falling in Love at First Sight, and I didn't like that because I felt like that it was very insta-love. This, I guess, is sort of different because the male main character has had like 3 months of knowing her in a time loop, and our female character doesn't. So it is definitely interesting. It's definitely compelling. I'll probably finish this today. I'll definitely finish my audiobook when I take the puppy for a walk later, as long as it doesn't rain. I did a little bit of cleaning this morning. I did laundry. I organized all my souvenirs. I haven't done the rest of it because I'm not doing my official souvenir stuff because I have to go to work, and that I have a bunch of people. I bought so much stuff from Italy just so I didn't forget anyone, and I have a lot of options. But yeah, my goal is to finish this book today. It's not that long. I also have about 60 videos in my YouTube queue. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I think if you like books that take place over a short period of time, I think you'd like this. It's definitely time loopy. Again, I always prefer my romantic books to be dual point of view, so like that's a little bit working against it. I think it's fun. Our main female character does have a lot of like family drama between her dad, her brother. I really like her best friend. I think her best friend is super fun. It's a fun concept for a book. But it's not like rocking my world, which, you know, not every book does. But again, this was chosen for me for Aurelium for a bookseller recommendation. So yeah, the next time you guys will see me, I will have finished it, and we're eagerly awaiting a prompt to drop for the Amazzing Readathon. I don't know if it's gonna drop today, I don't know if it's gonna drop tomorrow. But if by the time I'm done with this, it hasn't dropped, I have to pick my next book, and it will probably be a shorter book. I was gonna start, my last Aurelium book, but I have to start it in the evening because it's the animal creature one, which means I can't start that next. So I might try to find like a shorter book. I don't know. So I'm gonna see how long this takes me. Right now it is almost 11 o'clock, so I'm going to go finish that, see how long it takes me, and then when I'm back we'll do like a kind of check-in. I also need to double check that I'm doing everything for all the readathons I'm in. The only readathon I really kept up with when I was in Italy was the Amazzing Readathon, because that is really a readathon I can't really plan for because the prompts keep dropping. But this leg is a romance leg, so it's literally like open season. I'm trying to decide if I can count my Shadow Sister book for a romance or have a romance, because it does, but it doesn't. I want to be fair, so yeah. But I'm gonna go finish this and then I'll give you guys an update. Bye. The dragons, I'm back. So I am here to say that I did wind up finishing The Deja Vu Effect by Holly James. I think I'm gonna give this 3.5 stars. I really liked it. It was a fun read, fun concept. Sent over one day, I will say, but there is history there in a sense. So like I sometimes struggle with one day, falling in love in one day, because I think that the history elements don't really make a lot of sense and it's just hard to like feel connected. But I did really like the characters. We did get a surprise second point of view chapter, which I did like, because we got to get into our main character's head, Jack's head. I thought that the content of this book was really, really fun. It was fun. So I am going to give this 3.75. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of like get my Goodreads in order and my bullet journal in order and all that other stuff, just so that I know that I'm prepped, because I didn't really do anything for Instagram when I was gone, and I feel like all of my spreads are all out of whack. So I'm going to film in the morning. I'm going to film my mid-year wrap-up or my mid-month wrap-up, because I did read, I read enough. I didn't read everything that I wanted, but I read enough. So I'm going to go get that stuff organized. I'm going to go see what I want to read next. I'm just so afraid of a prompt dropping and then me not being able to finish the book that I'm reading. And it has to be a romance. So I'm trying to figure out like what I want to read. I have options, but it's like, again, I'm really constrained by like the blue thing. So I don't know, I may pick up a book and then maybe I have to put it down, but I did wind up catching up. The thing that was really hard when I was in Italy was I was behind on like all of my legs. Like I think I just caught up because of the plane ride, because I read Scales and Sensibility in like a day, and then I read this in basically a day. So, and I was going to pick up my next Jennifer L. Armentrout book, because it's the last book for Aurelium, but I can't start it until the evening. So, all right, I'm going to go get everything ready for like do all my prompts and stuff for this. And then I'm going to go kind of look through my TBR and see if anything. I'm also watching a lot of people's like reset vlogs. So it's making me think of sequels, but again, I'm like really constrained. This month is the month that I'm like, I feel like I'm a little bit more constrained, just because I need to read certain books of certain colors. So yeah, that's sort of where we are. So yeah, I'm gonna go do all my like prep stuff, and get all that stuff ready, and I will talk to you guys when I have a book that I've chosen. But right now it's almost like, I think it's almost like 2 o'clock, so I'll give you guys time to when I come back. I want to choose my next book. A prompt may drop like as I'm doing this, so I'm kind of giving myself a little bit of leeway, but I might pick up a romance and just see how far I can get. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Like Dragons, I'm back. So I'm just gonna kind of do a bit of thoughts, like where I think I'm gonna read for the next couple of days. I don't know, but Ostrich Packer Doesn't Fail is a host favorite, which means if you read that, you get more money. Again, I'm not going to really explain the Amazzing Readathon because it's a bit complicated, but this is the one I think I'm going to read. But also, I have a couple of books for the Aurelium Readathon that I do really want to read, but they're like, I'm done with all my core classes for that, which is great. So Claws and Contrivances by Stephanie Burgess is the second book in her series. I just read the first book and really liked it. So this is the second book. This follows Rose, the main character's sister. And I love these covers. I also, Fall of Red and Maroon by Jennifer L. Armentrout is a hefty one, but I can't start this until the evening because it's like for the animal creature. Again, I'm not going to explain the whole concept of Aurelium, but there's a book, if you want to get like an animal creature, you have to start the book in the evening, and it's not evening, it is 12 o'clock or 1:30. And then Tisa Manita is No Hero by Julie Abe is a book I need to read for a blog tour, but there's no romance in this, so I am just kind of holding these books in like my neck. And then also Little Thieves by Margaret Owen is another book, but that's for a project that I'm doing at some point this month. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pick up Ashford Parker Doesn't Fail. I also have the audiobook. Literally, I have 9 minutes left in my audiobook, so like that will be the next one up. So I'm gonna read this and see how I feel about it. And if I get to the point where like a prompt drops and this doesn't work anymore, I'll put it down and I'll pick up something up. I'm really hoping to read this at some point this week. So like all my observational stuff is done, all my things are done, and hopefully read A Fall of Red and Maroon. All these are like, again, I had a lot of romance on my TBR anyway because it is summer and I tend to read a lot of romance in the summer. But yeah, so I'm gonna pick up Ashford Parker Doesn't Fail. I don't know much about it. I know it has to do with like a HTV show. This is the second book in the series, but you don't have to read them in order, and this color works. So yeah, that's my thoughts. So these are on deck in case anything changes, but as always, I'm gonna read about 100 pages of this and give you guys my thoughts. I do have the audio as well, so I'll probably try to read like about 100 pages of this, and then if I do take the puppy for a walk, which I definitely will today, I will switch over to the audiobook. But I still have 9 minutes left of my current audiobook, which is not that much. Sorry, my dog is looking at me weirdly because I'm talking to you and I normally talk to her. But yeah, so this is, how many pages is this? This is 386 pages, I think. Oh no, maybe it's not. No, that's the sequel. So it's like, hold on, without all that stuff, it's 363 pages. So, all right, I'm gonna go start this, see how that goes, and I'll update you guys if anything changes, if a prompt drops, if any of these books, skip this one, because unless like the prompt drops at like 8 o'clock tonight, which people say it's gonna drop in like 10 minutes because there's sprints happening, and they, you know, that's how it goes. But yeah, that's the fun part of a readathon. You never know what you're going to be forced to read. Or, like, need to read. Because sometimes they become super favorite books. So yeah, that was a very, very randomy topic for... A poll did pick this, so I'm reading this for the poll as well. Because I was very indecisive. But the reason they probably picked it is because it is, like, a host favorite. So, talk to you guys later when I have more updates. Either you'll see me when I'm 100 pages into this, or you'll see me when a prompt drops. Bye! Hey friends, I just want to do a quick update. I am about 100 pages into Ashford Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake. I will admit, I'm a bit nervous for this book, and I'll tell you why. Sorry, I'm going to make sure my light is actually on me. I struggle with love to hate to more romances when they're in a contemporary setting and there's no history connecting the characters. So I'm a bit worried about this one because that's basically what this is. So basically you follow these two characters, points of, it is set in a small town, it is a companion series, which I do like. This is the second book, so like technically it's out of order, but this is a blue cover and it's gonna work, and it's also one of like the host favorites, so it will work for a lot of points. I also do have the audiobook, which I actually have is how I prefer to read romance, to be very honest, but it has a lot of elements that like might be a detriment to me. But it basically follows these two characters. You have Ashford Parker, who is a designer, and her design business is struggling. She was the sister that was supposed to get married in the first book, and honestly that didn't happen. Something must have happened at the end. They broke up. So she's kind of dealing with that. Her love life is in shambles. Her career is not getting the hype she was expected, and her mom is super critical. So that's kind of hers. And then you have the other main character, Jordan, who is the lead the lead carpenter, I guess, on the site. And they're basically doing an HTV show to fix up Jordan's grandma's inn. And they are very, very combative. Like they're just very, very combative, and it's very, very hate to more. Like I struggle with hate to more when there's no history connecting the characters. That's just like a personal thing. Like I learned that about myself. Like if you're gonna give me a hate to more romance, it has to have a second chance element, because I don't think like how they met really can like build it. But I guess I do see how this one might be different, because they're working on this house and they both have two very different visions for how this house is going to come together. Jordan wants to keep things a lot more traditional, and Astrid does not. So it's a very, very combative thing. They're also both dealing with their sexuality in very, very different ways, which I think will probably save this book for me. But I don't like the hate to more trope. So I'm curious to see how this book is going to go. I do have the audiobook as well, and I am listening to it. But again, when you're doing a readathon that is like challenge based, you have to try to read your books as quick as you can. And I'm not normally like a person that reads and listens at the same exact time, but I figured I would pick this one up because it is a host favorite and I'm running out of money. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna go read another like 100 pages, and then I will give you guys an update. Just time check. It is about 6 o'clock. So I just reached all my goals. So yeah, I might take the puppy for a walk later, which would definitely give me a bunch more chapters read, which is good. But yeah, I don't know. I like the characters. I'm just struggling with... I also don't like petty things. Like, if you, like, do something and it's, like, a little bit combative. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this, to be very honest. I really don't know. I do like the couple that is already together, so I definitely want to go back and read the other one. But this book might be a challenge, so I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to see how I feel. Some of my romance books I read this month have turned out to be my favorite, so we will see. So yeah, I will give you guys an update when I read another 100 pages. Bye. Hey Book Dragons, I'm back. So I am going to do a quick update. I'm going to actually switch my physical book because we have to read a book set in like a coastal town or like near water. So I think I'm going to pick up Do I Know You by Emily Webley and Austin Sigmund Broca. Earlier the month I read the roughest draft and really liked it. So I think I'm just going to pick this one up because it probably will be another quick read. And then if I'm successful and I finish it quicker, maybe I'll pick up something else that's like a little bit longer because we were last place. So I don't know. I feel like I should probably read something longer, but I don't really have anything that will work. So I don't know. I'm like, feel bad doing this. I don't know. I might like change my book in the middle, but this is where I am right now. Sorry if you hear sprints in the background. So I don't know. I feel like a little bit lost about what I want to read. So maybe I'm going to read this. I don't know. I'm going to kind of see if I could figure out something else that would work, like lengthwise. But I don't know. There's nothing that's like coastal that's really, really big. So I guess I'm just going to have to do that and just hope for the best. So yeah, I'm going to start Do I Know You. I'm going to still listen to Astro Parker Doesn't Fail for the extra book. And I will talk to you guys soon when I read this. Alright, bye. Hey Big Dragons, I'm back. I just want to do a quick update. It is almost 12:30, so a lot of time has passed. But I wound up taking the puppy for a walk. I actually got pretty far into Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. I'm actually really liking it towards the end. It's getting very, very compelling and very, very interesting. It's definitely a book that focuses a lot on self-discovery for all the characters. And there was a pretty big like twist in the middle that I really did like. So I'm at like the last hour of that. Sorry, my ring light fell. So I'm in the middle of reading that. I was gonna read the Emily Webley book, but it doesn't really sit in a coast. It's more like a resort, and I don't know. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up Summer Reading by Jen McKinley, and this book is over 400 pages. So it's actually pretty big, but it's formatted a bit interestingly because this main character in this is dyslexic. So when the author was kind of setting up her book, she wanted the book to be formatted the best for dyslexic readers, which I thought was really interesting. So I'm going to give this book a shot. I'm going to read the first 100 pages and then I'm going to come in and check in with you guys. I also am probably going to finish Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail because I have to read like a coastal book. There's a book, I'll attach a photo when I remember the name of it when I start it, but it's like a cozy mystery set like on a coast and it's cute, and I like to listen to murder mysteries, so I'm going to read that when I'm done with that. And then I'm just gonna see. Then I might pick up something else. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of see how long this takes me. It should not take me that long because it's a pretty like quick read and the formatting is just different. But yeah, I'm gonna go read about 100 pages of this and then I'll give you guys an update. I'm still making my way catching up with my YouTube queue because I want to be caught up by the time I go back to school. That is the plan. Probably by this weekend I can kind of watch something and pick a show to watch, which is probably going to be Superman and Lois because I'm behind on that. But yeah, I'm going to go read 100 pages of this and then I'll give you guys an update. Bye! Hey friends, I'm back and it is almost 3 o'clock. So I did wind up, I started like a little bit later because I was editing and stuff like that. Because editing takes a while, like when you do all your stuff for YouTube and various other social media things. So I was able to film all my videos for next week and prep another video, and then I was able to do all my blog posts, and then tomorrow I'll focus on TikTok, Instagram, and all my video, like my smaller video content that I film, but I need to like prep the posts. So I wound up getting up to page 112 in Summer Reading by Jen McKinley. And again, as I said when I read the reference draft, I love books about books. But this book does something very different. I will say this, the first part of this book, like the Dear Reader letter, I love those, by the way. Like, I like when they're in the front of the book because it gives you more context. But what Jen McKinley did is she structured this book and formatted it in a way that's very disability user-friendly, I would say, for people that do struggle with dyslexia or learning challenges. And as someone that has throughout high school, and I for the longest time thought I had dyslexia, but I don't. I have dyscalculia, which is a math learning disorder. But whenever I read books, like I remember when I read Fourth Wing, I had the same thought, like, oh, this feels real to me, because as someone that struggled a lot with learning and kind of find my own way in the world, the way that our main character Samantha's talking about it, it just really feels connected. So you basically follow this girl named Sam, and she has dyslexia. So she's not a reader. She doesn't really like reading. It's hard for her. And you have our other guy named Bennett, who is a librarian, and they meet kind of on a ferry as she's going to kind of take care of her brother because her parents are going on a whirlwind European adventure, and she's going to watch her younger brother, who's like a little bit of a genius, and she winds up accidentally throwing Bennett's book in the ocean, which is a trauma that I exist. Whenever I take a book anywhere, I'm always afraid it's going to get lost. So, and they get into a little bit of a tiff about that, but she's a cook, which is actually super interesting. I actually needed to do a book about a cook, like someone working in a restaurant, so this will actually be great for that prompt for the agents reading challenge I'm doing. That's like a year long. I don't really talk about it a lot just because I kind of don't really look at the prompts. I just kind of look to see what will work. But she kind of got fired from her job, and she's, you know, her dad needed help. She's kind of going, and it's just a fun read. I like the dyslexia talk. I like the learning disability talk, because as someone that had a learning disability, it is I see what she's talking about. Like, I see like how you kind of have to self-cope, and you have to, you know, kind of find ways to make things work for you, even if other people don't really get it. And again, like 100 pages into this book, they've had a couple interactions, and it's very, very much a slow burn. But I like the relationship between her and him. I like how she's kind of getting her feet wet. Like she just had a cooking engagement where kind of everyone teamed up to help her. She has another thing at the library. So I'm liking it. Again, it's very much of a slow burn, but I feel like you're really diving into her character a lot, which I'm really enjoying. And I'm sure there's also like a plot in the back that like totally ruined the book. So I'm not going to tell you that, but that hasn't happened yet. But you could see there's something Bennett wants in general, and I think they're gonna kind of team up to kind of help each other. And her dream is to always like write a cookbook, but again, that's very challenging if you're dyslexic, so I think that that's gonna become a plot point as well. She also has some like, you know, she has a rough, not rough, but like she doesn't really have a relationship with her younger brother, so that's also becoming a big part of the book. And she's also reconnecting with her best friend. So there's a lot to the story that I'm really enjoying. My goal is to read like another to page 200 and then give you guys an update and see what time it is now. But again, the formatting of this book is very, very large print and very, very wide margins, and just like the way like stuff's not italicized, it's bolded, which I think is very helpful. And she like really, you know, she had a lot of sensitivity readers in this book, and I just really, really like it. I think that even if you don't necessarily have dyslexia, but like you have learning challenges, I think this book will be a warm hug. And I just like the fact that the guy is the bookworm and the girl is not, and I think that that's going to be a very interesting dynamic. And yeah, I'm really liking it. I definitely want to check out more by this author in the future, but this book got me because it's a coast book. It's clearly there's a coast, and I need to read this for the Amazzing Readathon, and I didn't really have anything on my TBR that really worked. And it's also big, and we're in like last place, so I want to fix that for my team if I can. So I'm going to go read another 100 pages. My goal is to also catch up on my YouTube queue. I keep saying that, but the booktubers I follow just make super long videos, and I have a lot to do. So I'm going to go read that. I'm going to read it 100 pages. Then I'll give you guys an update. I'll give you guys a chime check. And my goal is to finish this book today, but I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I'm going to try. So I will talk to you guys when I'm ready for another update. But so far, it's very, very cute. And I like I'm really enjoying the disability wrap. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Friends, I'm back. I just want to do a quick update. Mind you, my puppy will now hear me talking and come visit. But now that I said that, she probably won't. I did want to say that I did wind up getting up to page 200 in Summer Reading by Jen McKinley, which I'm loving. Like, again, I'm just meant to read books about books because I think that this book is just so great. And I just love, like, I feel very seen in the pages of this book. And I don't have dyslexia, but I have dyscalculia, which is a little bit similar. And there's so many moments in this book that I'm just loving. And I just like the romance. I think that there's a lot of side stuff in this story that is really accenting Sam's life. Like, you see a lot about her personal struggles, her professional struggles. Like, you know, you also see a lot about Bennett's life as well. So I'm just really, really liking it. And again, there's a big plot point that still hasn't been introduced that's in like the back of the book. So I'm curious when that kind of gets introduced, but I'm just really loving it. It's definitely like a very, very quick read, very, very engaging, but all the talk about disability and learning challenges are really hitting because I did have that and I still do. And her talking about coping and people being very, very cruel and mean about it is definitely something I've experienced in my life. But I'm just really, really liking it. Like, I really just want to read and not do anything else, which is what I'm going to do. So I have, the next time you see me, I will have read to page 300 in this book. I don't know what time that will be, but again, I've been pretty much reading a book a day just for this challenge because I want to help my team as much as I can, especially because right now we're in last place. So by the time this goes up, it probably won't matter. But yeah, so I'm trying to read some bigger books, and just because the way this book is formatted, it's like over 400 pages, just because it's formatted in a dyslexic friendly format, which I love. So I'm gonna go read another 100 pages. I'm probably gonna at some point take the puppet for a walk later, and I will listen to my audiobook so I can finish Asher Parker Doesn't Fail, which I'm really liking. The second half definitely was better. And yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go read another 100 pages, and then I'll give you a time check. Right now it is about, it's almost 6 o'clock, so we'll see how long it takes me to read 100 pages. And then I think tonight I am going to take an hour and a half and I'm going to watch the gymnastic competition when Simone Biles returned, Gabby Douglas returned, Cindy Lee returned. When I was in Italy and I didn't get a chance to watch it, I told you she was going to come, didn't I? So that'll be my plan for tonight, but I want to read, either I'm gonna read up to to past 300 pages, or I'm gonna finish it. But I am reading it very, very quickly, and I think a lot of that is because of the formatting. But it's a really, really good book. Another reading-based book. Like, I read The Roughest Draft earlier. Really like that. I want to read Roughest Business or Pleasure by Rachel and Solomon. That also has a bookish theme, but I'm gonna save that for September because it's not blue. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna go read a bit more of this, and then I'll give you an update when I can. Bye. I'm back. It's Friday. I spend Friday like organizing and cleaning and like getting myself done, which I did. I also started to do a fall reset vlog on my channel, so I would like reorganize my bookshelves. I have to do a bunch of like real stuff like as we get closer to the start of the school year, but I reorganized my TBR cart. You guys will see that in that video. But I did wind up having some reading updates. Last night I wound up finishing Asher Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake. I like this book. Again, I always say I'm not the biggest fan of hate to more romances in a contemporary setting, especially when they don't really have any history, because I feel like it's like a little bit forced. But I liked it. I thought that it was like very interesting that they were both very, very different. So it was definitely Grump Sunshine in a sense. Well, maybe not like Grump, but like definitely like hate to more elements. I really like the HTV stuff. I liked all the side characters. I definitely want to go back and read the other books in the series, but this book worked because it was a host favorite for the Amazzing Readathon, and also for my other readathon that I'm doing too. So, but I really liked it. Though it was fun. I liked Ashley Herring Blake's writing style. I want to read Iris Kelly Doesn't Date. That one, I just think Iris is fun. I liked all the side characters in the story. And it was interesting. I think that there was a lot of like complicated family dynamics, which I really did like, but the love to hate trope doesn't always work for me. But I also, so I read that, and I got up to page, how far did I get? I got up to page 300 in Summer Reading by Jen McKinley. I'm really liking this book. Like, again, I'm just very, very fond of the characters, and I like the dyslexia rap. I'm just gonna say it. Like, as someone that struggled with learning throughout all my like learning years, I think that she's doing a very effective way of kind of distributing that and seeing how it affects like your relationships. And I didn't really experience that because my dyscalculia was more like in the academic setting, but I can definitely see how having dyslexia would affect your everyday life. And she's having a lot of like internal struggles, which I think is interesting. There's also like a side character that I'm really intrigued by, her best friend. There's a library setting, and he is just such a bookworm, which I am a bookworm, so I feel for her. But I also can see how being not like, when you do have dyslexia, it's hard to like reading. So I really do like that representation. But yeah, he's just like a very, very fun character. So I mean, I have about 130 pages left, I think. There's also Her as a Chef, which I think, again, there's talking a lot about coping and like getting your coping mechanisms, and I definitely feel that. I definitely felt like I had to develop a lot of coping mechanisms. And the romance cute, I think that it was definitely a slow start. I'm gonna say it's a 400-page book, but I think the formatting definitely affects like the formatting of it, so it's probably more like a 300-page book, but it's 400 pages. So just go into knowing that. And I'm just really, really liking it. I also started another book, Death on Deck. It's for this readathon I'm doing. I had to read a book that had like a coastal setting and they're on like a ship. So that works. It's like the 13th book in a series, but like you really can read them out of order. I'm going to probably go back and start it because there's a little Frenchie in the series and I like it. But basically she's on a boat and there's a murder happens and she kind of gets sucked into trying to solve it. I don't want to talk too much because it's like the 13th book in a series, but I am enjoying it. So I finished this. I'm about 140 pages left in this, and then I started another audiobook. So when I get up to page... So the next time you guys will see me, I will have finished this book, I think, because I'm probably going to read another like 100 pages and then by then I'll be done. So you guys will see my final thoughts for summer reading, and then we'll see what I'm going to read next. I just reorganized my whole room, so maybe I will find a new book to read, but it does have to have like a coastal setting, and this was clearly a coastal setting, so I'm going to have to find another one that's clearly a coastal setting. So I'm going to go do that. Read a bit more of this, try to keep going with my YouTube queue. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey Book Dragons, I'm back. So I just want to do a quick update. I did wind up finishing Summer Reading by Jen McKinley. I like this book. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed the dyslexia rep. I will say there was a little bit of a miscommunication trope at like the super end of it, but I did enjoy it. Very, very quick read, and it's a pretty hefty book for due to the formatting that it was given. But I liked it. I thought that the main characters were super fun. Definitely a slow burn romance. It was not dual point of view, which if you know anything about me is how I prefer my romance reads. But I did like it, so this will work for sightseeing. I mean, for the Santorini leg, it's like a co-setting book. So to wrap up this vlog, because I'm going to start like a weekend reading vlog as well, or like the next couple of legs at least, I'm going to pick up Bloom because this is a graphic novel and you don't get a ton of points for graphic novels. But I specifically bought this for this reading challenge because it's so blue. And I'm just going to read it. And it has like a coastline setting. Like I think it does. Let me just look. But I think that they're on the coast. They're on like water, I think. And they're bakeries. So this is like a very, very coastal setting. So it has to do with baking. So I'm going to read this and just kind of count it. And then I'll move on to another book, which I don't know what it's going to be. I definitely need like a genre shift. I need like a different genre than romance, which is all I've been reading. So I'm going to try to find something that's a little bit different, maybe like a middle grade, something that's like fantastical. That's what I want, but I'm not having the best luck finding a coastal book like that, so I'm struggling a little bit. But when I'm done with Bloom, I will give you guys an update, and then we'll start the next reading vlog. So bye. Friends, I'm back. It is Saturday. I did wind up last night. I wound up finishing, Bloom by Kevin Pachette and Savannah Gutchum. I really like this. I think I'm probably going to give it 3 stars. It was a very, very fun read. Basically, you follow these 2 characters, and one is very into like music and one is into baking, and they kind of are forced to work together at this bakery. And it is a romance. It gave me Heartstopper vibes. It also gave me Prince and the Dressmaker vibes. I really liked it. Very, very cute. Art style. There was just a lot of characters in this, and I feel like some of the characters looked a little bit similar, so it was hard to remember who was who, but I liked it. I gave it 3 stars, and now I'm going to wrap up this reading vlog so I can do another one, because this reading vlog I think got to be a bit long. So I'm gonna go get all my books so we can wrap up what I read since I've been home from Italy, and then we're gonna start a new one, so I'll be back in a moment. Definitely in the mood to switch up my genre because I've literally read like 5 romance books in a row, and that's not what I normally read. So I read The Deja Vu Catch by Holly James, which I gave 3 stars to. This is like a time loop trapped Groundhog Day vibe story. I liked it. I didn't love it. It only had one point of view, which is very similar to a lot of these books that I've read, but I gave it 3 stars, and I would definitely read more by this author in the future. I also listened to Asher Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake. This was maybe my second favorite, and I gave this book 4 stars for review. It's an LGBTQ plus hate to more renovation romance, second book in the series, and I liked it. Definitely I like the LGBTQ plus rep for sure. And then I read Summer Reading by Jen McKinley, which I think is probably my favorite of this whole reading book. I gave it 4 stars. Love the dyslexia rap, and I just thought it was a great read. And my last thing I finished in this vlog was Bloom by Kevin Pochette and Savannah Gutschum, which I gave 3 stars to. Solid read, definitely gave me Heart Sniper vibes. So I'm gonna go start my next reading vlog, figure out what the hell I want to read next, because I don't know. I have to read a book that has a coastal setting and it has to be blue, and I'm struggling. So I'm gonna go figure out that, and then I'm gonna go start that reading vlog, and then yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.